Hello everyone, I'm doing a quick tutorial on how to use SMITEFire's build and guide creator. One thing to keep in mind as you create a build is that the majority of people that will look at it will probably be newer players that aren't familiar with the god or itemization for the god, or returning players looking to re-educate themselves. As such, it's important to make your build as clear and easily understandable as possible. So to begin, you'll find the create button at the top of the page. When you click it, you'll be dropped directly into the creator tool. I find it's usually easiest to work from top to bottom. Give your guide a title, but I suggest making it something a little more interesting than that. Give it a little bit of flair. It may also be helpful to clarify the build's coverage in the title. So let's say like something like that. And then click the Add Build button and choose the god. Note that if you're making a universal guide for a mode or topic rather than an individual god, don't click that button and just go straight into the guide chapters section, which is below. You'll see at the top that it states build one and has a section for a build name. If you're doing a build for one role, you probably don't need to add another build group. However, if, for example, you're creating builds for multiple roles, say support and solo, then separating these builds is probably best. I'll show you an example of how that would work here. So choose Mist's Ratatoskr guide here. You'll see the selectable tab here. When you have more than one build group. In Mist's Ratatoskr guide, he's proposing builds for both jungle and solo, and that's how the build name looks. You see here jungler rat, solo rat, and other jungler builds. So you would select between these. All right, back to our build creator. Before we go into the purchase order and item choice sections, notice the other two tabs, skill sequence and threats. Let's work on skill sequence first. This is pretty straightforward. Choose which skill level. So at level 1, usually you're going to do something like this. 6, 7. Oops. Something like that. I think that's what would work. And then you have a notes section below. See this. If you'd like to quickly explain your skill level reasoning or talk about instances where you might level differently than displayed, such as Scylla's point skipping, for example, you can do that here. Say, blah, 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 right? Obviously, you can go into a lot more detail than what I did there, but that's just an example. And I'll quickly go over the threat section, which some people use and others don't. You'll see not all gods are shown in this section, so if you need, type the god's name and click on their icon. So we'll just say Heimdallr, and you would say, I don't know, whatever. Whatever, right? All right, on to the meat of the builder, the items. So back to the purchase order. Everyone has their own preference on organization, so I'll hit the main points on what I feel to be important and what is more optional. We'll go over starting items, full build example, optional identification of core items, and situational alternatives and movement item replacement, I guess. Many choose to start with starting items first, so I'll do that here. Give that a title just so that people know, the grouping, and then choose the items. So down here, when you choose your items, note that you can type the name of the item. You can filter items by category, or just scroll like this, just for ease. I'll do this. something like that. Okay. Add notes if you want. I'm not gonna. Well, I'm just gonna say test here. Okay, just so you see what it's gonna look like once it's published. I'll show you how that looks once published right now, actually. And oh, one thing right here, you can click if you're looking for community feedback. This just indicates that you are open to that concept. So anyway, click that. Click save. Once you click save, a view button pops up here. So you will see right here how this looks. So we see right here, the starting items is the PO name. The notes is this section down here. When you highlight over it, it pops that up. You can see the skill order over here. Just general examples. Oh, and the threat section. So you see that down there. When you go to additional purchase items, you're going to click that plus button right there. Here in the next section, I'd probably suggest showing a full build example before movement speed replacement, because most people are interested in seeing this. They want to see a straight build. You can go into options after that. So I'll just show you an example here. Oops. And I don't know, choose a last item. I guess Poison Star. That'll work. You don't have to click save every single time. It's just a habit of mine. Let's see. So let's look at first item purchase. Sometimes you'd rush Devos, but here I'm going to show a choice of 2 boots. So we'll just say movement speed options. You don't have to clarify like that, but let's choose it like that. And if you'd like, you can obviously describe the options and why you would choose one over the other, things like that. And then next, I'll show core items. You don't have to do core items, but if you do feel that an item should almost always be built on the god, this definitely helps emphasize its importance. So in this example, I'll choose those items. We'll say Devour as always. Rage, Atalanta, and oops, Deathbringer. Okay, those are the core items that you'd probably always, in this example at least, you would always choose. Okay. After that, if and where a build has flexibility, you want to identify the various options the reader can choose from. So in this case, the shoes plus the core items account for 5 of the 6 slots. So I will say 6 item and boots replacement. Okay, just as a reminder. And so we'll choose Poison Star. Berserkers. Aussie. I think that's enough for now. Obviously, there could be more options than this, but I think that's pretty good. Now, with all general items covered, don't forget to mention relics. Here, I'll just filter like this. You can filter like relic, and standard here would be this. I'm just gonna keep it at that for now. And that's pretty much how you create your build. If you're done with that, don't forget to save and then click publish. I'm not going to click publish, but we can see over here at least what it's going to look like. And see, ta-da! Um, I do want to mention one detail that's not always clear for users. After publication, and when you want to make adjustments, you do have to click publish again once you've made your changes. Otherwise, the changes only show up for you. Now, if you're looking to add some extra information, maybe make it into more of a guide, the section below the item builder is for your chapters. This section is pretty unlimited for what information you can provide. Feel free to introduce yourself and your experience, discuss the god in question, the god's pros and cons, strengths and weaknesses, discuss their abilities and how to use them, provide ability combos, go over the details of your item choices, discuss gameplay, talk about wording, whatever you'd like. That's pretty much it. And, you know, you can see depending on the builds that you're looking at. Oops. That I mean, these can get pretty in depth, and the BB coding can get pretty intense. Um, you can go for a lot of different sections, and I'll post a link to a BB code guide if you want to fancy up your write up for it. Anyway, that's pretty much it for the God Builder. If you have any questions, you are always welcome to ask anywhere. Thank you very much.